Standing. Okay. So, welcome to the Tri-Cities Regional Chamber of Commerce Quick Takes Legislative Live video series. My name is Matt Murphy, the Government Regional Affairs Director for the Tri-City Regional Chamber. And in this series, we're going to share quick visits with our local legislators. We want to know what's going on, what the hot topics are, and what in general is happening in Olympia. I want to thank the Tire Factory and MacKay Sposito for sponsoring this series as policy engagement partners. So today we're joined by Senator Matt Boehnke from the 8th Legislative District. Hello and welcome, Senator Boehnke.
Well, Matt, thanks for having me. I love these little quick takes that you're doing. I think it's a great idea to get out to the community, and appreciate you taking the time to do this. It means a lot.
It's a lot of fun, and I learn so much by going through these, because every time I ask a different legislator a different question and learn something new. So
Awesome.
now I know you guys just recently hit a milestone. You know, you're I don't know, technically halfway through, but not quite. But you know, I noticed that there was like 1,900 bills were introduced, and so I think we could probably say, what, about 1,500 of those bills are gone. Um, so
Yes.
so hopefully the second half will be a little less hectic. I know that the committee meetings are coming hot and heavy. So
They are. And when you're referring to it, for your listeners, we call this the House of Origin cutoff. So where it cuts off the bills from the House and the Senate, and then now it moves over to the other body. So then we start taking House member bills coming into our committees. They take Senate into their committees as well.
yeah. So and I know that April 8th is, or I guess April 2nd is the date that they have to be out of this next batch. So
Yeah.
we're
So
you're things are rolling by, but I want to shift real quick to the budget.
yeah.
You know, needless to say, Washington faces an enormous financial burden. And I think we'll all agree that it's a spending problem and not a revenue problem.
Yeah.
Um, and there is no easy solution. But what do you see? I don't know if it's necessarily as a path forward, but what do you see as the future for the budget here in Washington State?
Yeah, well, great question, because this is a budget year that everybody's worried about because of the constraints that you've mentioned before. And we do believe it's a revenue generation, that we have a great economy in the state. And we have a spending problem that we have been overspending on certain services throughout the state over 4 or 5, even 10 years ago. So as we move forward, we're looking at where we can offer up. And we have this week, if your listeners want to see it, we posted onto the Senate Republican website our budget amendment. So we try to get out in front of this and say, we can do this, and we can balance actually the budget without spending any new taxes. We think we can freeze certain services that are going out there, freeze certain rates. And I believe that's a good path forward, that we want to offer up people not only 1, 2, but 3 options. So the governor's going to come back and, of course, have his option. They're going to also play into what Governor Inslee had it before. But of course, then the majority party is going to come back and say, no, we think we might need the new taxes. So we're preparing for an onslaught of a lot of new taxes that may be hitting us here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so I will post a copy of the Republican budget proposal. It's almost 1,200 pages, so it's some light reading if anybody wants to check that out. And I've read the Democrat response to that also. So it's about what you'd expect. So I want to thank you real quick. I mean, you've given us some insight, and this is called Legislative Live Quick Takes, especially during the session. You guys are going a million miles an hour. And so I want to thank you. I know you're busy, and you've got about 45-ish, give or take, a couple days left, assuming there's no special sessions.
Done what? So,
Yeah, yeah. So that'll be the tricky part. So I want to let you get back to your busy committee schedule. But to wrap things up, I want to thank you for all that you do for the Tri-Cities and all the hard work that you guys are doing down in Olympia. So thank you.
appreciate it, Matt. Thank you. And thank you for the listeners listening in, the sponsors who support the show, because this does mean a lot to us to get the message out of what we're doing here in Olympia, to clarify a lot of the misinformation that's going on. And you're a big piece of that. So we appreciate you.
All right. Well, thank you. And you have a great day, Senator Boehnke.
You as well. Take care.